Right, we've got the coolermaster Elite 430 Black Edition with a 500 watt PSU, and we then have a Gigabyte board. It's a really nice board. I picked this board because of the USB 3.0, obviously AMD board for the AMD Phenom 2X Black Edition, quad core, nice CPU. It's a bit old at the moment, but this board's got a 6 gigabit per second SATA cable connections. That's to run the Western Digital 1TB Black Caviar Edition hard drive. I've got 500. I've got 1 terabyte. I've got 3 6 gigabyte SATA cables. Nothing much about them. Just cables. 4 gig RAM. Going to upgrade. No graphics card. DVD writer. And I'll get back to you on that. Peace out. Got the CPU fan installed, and the CPU just underneath it. There's a little bit tricky just getting the catch to catch, but it's all on, I think, alright, and I've just plugged it straight in. Just the next little bit. Just about to install the RAM just over here into the 2 blue slots, and I'll see you in a minute. So see, I'm going to change the audio probably anyway, but you can see now I've just got the RAM installed. It's just a couple of sticks of 4 gigabyte RAM. You can see on the board you've got the 2 white slots and the 2 blue slots. Now when you read your motherboard's manual, it'll tell you which 2 slots to use first and which 2 slots to use second. If you're running a dual channel, then it'll be 4 like this. If you're running a triple channel, then you'll have 6 slots, and the slots that work together on the channels will be coloured or numbered, or in your motherboard it'll tell you exactly what you need to do. So make sure you read the motherboard manual. And now we're just going to put the I/O plate in the back of the case and then install the motherboard into the case. So do that. Cap. When you remove the cap, we can see we've got the motherboard installed into the case. We've also got the CPU in the case at the moment as well, but the CPU came with the case already installed, so that wasn't anything that I had to do. You can see we've got it on 9 standoffs since the board's an ATX board. I had a little bit of trouble with the I/O plate on this side, just lining all the right holes up. It was a little bit difficult just doing that, but it was helpful since I had my dad here to guide it in. I'd say if you're building a computer, I'd recommend 2 people minimum when you're doing it, just because it's just going to be easier on you. Just to make sure you don't harm any of your parts or ruin your board or anything like that. Alright, so wired it all in. I'm gonna hopefully cross the fingers and see if it starts first time, and we can just get the fan spinning. Just make sure when you start it first time, just watch for the fan spinning. Where's the on button? Watch for the fan spinning and everything lighting up. You can see there the fan spinning, the blue LED fan spinning. You can feel a nice flow of air into the system, and thank God it turned on. Alright guys, talk to you in a bit. Didn't record. Alright, so that was the very first boot screen, and this is what it says. Loading operating system, boot from CD, DVD. So if you have a copy of Windows 7 or whatever operating system you're using, now's the time just to pop it into the drive there. But instead of that, what we're going to do is we're going to reset the computer. You see, we'll turn it back off, and we've already done this a couple of times, so we know it's delete to get to the BIOS menu. So when you turn it on again, you've got to be pretty quick with what you press, but I'll try and show you on the screen. If you look at the very bottom corner, I'm going to zoom a bit closer to it. It will flash to a screen like that, and at the bottom there's a list of what to press and what it takes you to. So there we go, and we're into the boot menu. And on the boot on the BIOS, you can see like all the different features of your motherboard. You can set up what you want to do, master and slave systems. It should tell you exactly, if you've got all your components right and you put them in right, it should tell you, like, if you see at the top there, I've got a Western Digital WD10EALX, and that is exactly the same as the serial number on the drive, so that means it was installed properly. Same underneath, it's exactly the right drive. You see the time and date there's wrong, just out by a day though, it's not that bad. But that is the that is the basic BIOS. You can see other stuff like PC status. Oh, there you go, you got your cores. You see CPU core 0, 1, 2, 3 enabled, so that's for a quad core processor obviously. And you can basically just go through all the settings and set up everything like from basic before you put anything in. We'll show you the PC health status. This is a good place to look. If your computer's running hot or cold, you can see the volts it's using. So I know that my I can see my CPU temperature is about 37 degrees, which is about average for a CPU temperature on a standard fan. I'm most likely not going to overclock this CPU, so it's just going to pretty much keep the standard fan. Obviously, if you're going to overclock anything, then it's important that you need a better power supply, because it's going to use more power, and that you need a better CPU fan and heatsink on it, because the best, if you're gonna overclock, then probably the best thing to do, I would say, is to get the water cooled, because that seems to keep your CPU nice and cool even when you're running at particularly high gigahertz. Anyway, that's just the BIOS mode, and I'll show you probably the computer when I've put it fully together and loaded Windows up and all that kind of good stuff.